How things can change so suddenly in politics. Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president of the Republic of Kenya, was under constant attack by this new administration right from the moment after they took the oath of office. William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua traveled across the country, and it seemed they had nothing else to say. Uhuru Kenyatta this, the former administration this, they went wrong, they took all the money, we inherited a dilapidated economy, etc., etc. And then all of a sudden, Rigathi Gachagua is desperately looking for a chance to speak to Uhuru Kenyatta. William Samoei Ruto is desperately looking for a chance to meet Uhuru and mend fences. What has changed so suddenly? Nakwambia siasa ni siasa tu. On my show today, I will answer that burning question. And the answer, I'm sure, many of you are not expecting. But first, I have an entertaining story to tell you. Imagine a very closely fought game between Man U and Arsenal, and it is a barren draw until the dying minutes. When all hell breaks loose, the referee awards Man U a very controversial penalty. And when the penalty is taken, it is not even a clear goal, because the ball hits the top bar, bounces down, and you can see the chalk flying, and bounces out of the goal. But the referee rules most of the ball had crossed the line, and therefore it is a goal. And shortly after that, the referee hurriedly blows the final whistle. And of course, Arsenal fans are livid. They can't believe it. They cannot believe what has happened. But most of the drama in this story takes place off the pitch. And because the fans are angry, Manchester United provides security for the referee to leave. And people are very shocked. You mean these guys hired security in advance? Kwani they knew what was going to happen? Kwani they can see into the future? And that security escorts the referee safely out of the stadium, where chaos breaks out between fans of the two sides. Now be patient, I'm going somewhere very important with this story. But there is much more drama after that controversial game than there was during the match. Because shortly thereafter, Manchester United administration offers the referee's wife a well-paying job. Shortly after that, Manchester United released a statement praising the referee for his bravery. Shortly after that, the linesman, who assisted the referee in stealing this game from Arsenal, is spotted in Manchester United offices. And it's not clear what he's doing, but he's employed. He's getting good money for whatever he's doing. Now that is a fictional story. But supposing it was real, what do you think the administrators of the game in the United Kingdom would do? Do you think they'd just let it slide? Do you think they would ignore it? What do you think? Because this is precisely what happened in the nation called Kenya during our last elections. How do you reward the referee's wife? What does it mean to you? Because we know Wafula Chebukati's wife got a big appointment in government. Why? Wasn't Chebukati just doing his job? And then most recently, Professor Abdi Gulie was spotted right inside State House. Doing what? Folks, in my opinion, this is very clear evidence. Yeah? If you take the story I gave you about a soccer game between two well-loved clubs in Kenya, from the UK, Man U and Arsenal. When you look at it like that, it becomes clear. Because currently there are so many things happening in Kenya. Immediately after the elections, people were grieving. So maybe it was not possible to see the obvious. And the obvious is that already it is very fishy. In my opinion, it is evidence that our presidential elections were stolen. When you get the IEBC chairman's wife given a big appointment, when you get one of the commissioners who assisted Chebukati cited in State House, all that is glaring evidence, mchana, for all to see. Folks, those were our presidential elections. Just think about it. And I used to play a lot of sports in my younger days. How does one side go and reward the referee? For what? What is the motive? How does one side in a match go and reward the referee's wife? For what? Amefanya nini? Hey! Anyway, on to today's topic. So suddenly Uhuru Kenyatta, the former president, whose farm was raided, actually his mother's farm, and sheep stolen, the favorite punching bag, political punching bag, of Ruto, Rigathi, Gachagua, and Kenya Kwanza. All of a sudden, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is a hero in the Kenya Kwanza camp. Ruto goes to Kisumu and praises Uhuru. So what has changed? What has really changed? Well, we have been here before. After Mwai Kibaki took over, swept into power, under the banner of the National Rainbow Coalition in 2002, and took office as Kenya's third president, the initial feeling amongst Kenyans was that they could not wait for Moi to go. Indeed, there are reports that people pelted President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi at Uhuru Park, where he had come to hand over power. They pelted him with mud. And they were so happy to see Moi go. Well, a few months into the Mwai Kibaki administration, when Kenyans realized that the rosy promises of the Kibaki administration were not going to pass, when Kibaki went back on his MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with his main partner, Raila Amolo Odinga, over the distribution of cabinet posts, etc., etc., and when Kenyans remembered the good things that Moi had done for them, and especially when Kenyans remembered Moi's words, Mutanikumbuka, you'll remember me, everything changed. And suddenly, Moi was very popular in Kenya. The man who was pelted with mud at Uhuru Park just a few short months earlier was now a hero to Kenyans. And this was most visible during the burial of Jomo Kenyatta's first wife, Samuel Ndagoreti, a function that was attended by both President Kibaki and former President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. When Moi emerged from the function, there were such wild cheers. The people demanded that he addresses them. It became very clear that Kenyans had missed Moi. And it was a deep embarrassment to the sitting president, Mwai Kibaki. And then something super fascinating happened. There were complaints from Moi handlers at the time that the retired president was not being left in peace. He was being monitored and followed by intelligence officers. Which means that the Kibaki administration, because intelligence officers don't follow you for nothing, they only follow you when you're deemed a threat to the security of the state, a threat to the presidency. And so the writing is on the wall there. That is what Moi was deemed. And the relationship between the president and the former president went south, went downhill very fast. I think that is enough information. Let us come back to the present. But you need to know that relationship was repaired later. And in fact, Moi became an advisor to Mwai Kibaki and his administration. And it is super fascinating to note that Mwai Kibaki's presidency stabilized considerably when Moi started being an advisor to Kibaki. But back to the present, it should be very clear to Kenyans that the William Samoei Ruto administration does not know what it is doing, did not have a plan. And if indeed they had a plan, that plan has gone horribly wrong. And the result is Kenyans continue to suffer. And more importantly, the days of the Uhuru presidency now look like the golden years, because everybody can see they were much better. Kenyans were not being taxed to the hilt the way they are now. And therefore, naturally, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is now very fondly remembered. His presidency is very fondly remembered by Kenyans. In other words, he has become a hero. In other words, his political clout has skyrocketed. Now I can hear some naive Kenyan telling me, so what? He's not president anymore. He can't get back into politics. Therefore, that is irrelevant. Now, in the story I've just given you about Moi and Kibaki, it was the same situation. Moi had left power. What could he do? I will tell you. When somebody has so much national appeal, is so popular in the country, it will make any administration jittery. Okay? And remember, somebody else can ride on the popularity of that former president to embarrass or even to deal with the current administration. Let me give you a quick example. Supposing a man called David Murathe, we all remember him, he was a close advisor to Uhuru. Supposing David Murathe today calls for a meeting at Uhuru Park, do you think it will be well attended? I think it will be packed. Why? Because when Kenyans see David Murathe, they see Uhuru Kenyatta. People will go because they'll believe Murathe has an important message from Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Let us go and listen to what he has to say. And not only that, in the case of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the Ruto administration has a much bigger problem than the Kibaki administration ever had. And it is simply because Uhuru hails from the Mount Kenya region. The vote-rich, influential, populous Mount Kenya region. Now, what does that mean? Let's break it down. Hate them or like them, the Mount Kenya region has a track record of bringing down governments. Oh yes. And let us start with the colonial government, the mighty, powerful colonial government. Their biggest threat, and the people who really did them in, were the Kikuyu community. And what about Daniel Toroitich arap Moi? Bottom line, a popular former president from the Mount Kenya region, of all places in Kenya, is a very serious political force in Kenya that could easily be interpreted as a political threat. That is really what this is all about. And Rigathi Gachagua, what he's really interested in is plugging in into the Uhuru Kenyatta brand. plugging in into that political power. Because right now the mountain is very restless. Yeah, they're very disappointed with the Ruto administration. Yeah. And indeed, with that information, you also understand why William Ruto would be very interested in mending fences with former President Uhuru Kenyatta. It becomes very clear. And clearly, our politics, the chess in our politics is getting super fascinating. Now, a very quick reminder before I go. My classic audiobook on the character of William Samoei Ruto. Indeed, this book, The Ruto Kenyans Will Never Know, goes very deep, even into how he really made his initial huge seed money, that he used as a springboard to become what he is today. Anybody who goes through this audiobook, it is also in PDF format so that you can read it, will be able to understand the man who makes the big decisions in Kenya today extremely well, and therefore will be in a very good position, a pole position of being able to look into the future and to predict what may happen next, and even to understand current decisions, current policies of this government. And you still have a very short time to get it, only for $20 or Kenya shillings 2007. You can see details in front of your screens right now. I highly recommend it. Please act right away, because the price is due to change anytime. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.